small collection of matched ornaments might not fit completely and perfectly on your tree, but you can get creative with Christmas ornaments in other ways and make some darling accent pieces. Michelle Inkley has some ideas, and Michelle always brings the bright and happy sparkle to our studio just with her presence, but these ideas are taking that sparkle over the top. What inspired you to create with ornaments?
Well, I've been collecting for years these vintage ornaments. I'd go to flea markets and they are just so beautiful and just delicate. And I've seen these wreaths on Etsy and they're hundreds of dollars. And they use these vintage ornaments to make these wreaths. And I started collecting and I had almost enough, but I'm like, I don't know if I can glue these together.
Because there is that pressure with antiques or heirlooms.
Yeah, and they were so expensive and it took so long to curate this collection.
But you did it.
But I did it. So, well, I didn't use, I'm gonna tell you how you can do it. I didn't use my precious vintage ornaments.
Okay.
I used ornaments from the dollar store.
You did? Those are dollar store ornaments?
A lot of them are dollar store ornaments.
You're kidding.
And a lot of them, Target has the best box of ornaments. There's 50 in
Target.
Yes, and
Can
the colors are beautiful.
We always praise Target, but they have hit it over the top, over the par,
over the moon. Is so
this season.
Yeah, so beautiful. The colors they have are so beautiful, and they have these big boxes. I think they're $20 for 50 ornaments.
Right.
They all are coordinating and they're beautiful, and it's very inexpensive.
Sure.
So I thought I can do that with a very inexpensive ornament, and I made a ginormous wreath to go over my piano.
That photo we saw was the inspiration. The wreath too big and too delicate to even bring in studio.
And too delicate.
How big?
It's one of those 4 foot. I mean, it's big.
And it's
huge.
all over ornaments.
Yes, all over ornaments. And the big, I started with big ornaments from Taipan.
What kind of glue did you use?
So the glue, that is key because hot glue will not work.
Right.
I tried that route and it did not work. This E6000, and I also tried epoxy too, just like that you kind of had to mix. That didn't work surprisingly. So I tried this really cheap, inexpensive E6000 from Michael's or any craft store, and it works super well.
Now you brought a smaller scale version.
I did a smaller, right here, right in the front.
And we have been oohing and awing. Couple of things about this wreath that I think jumps out to us as a Studio 5 team, even beyond what you'd buy in a catalog. First of all, the color selection.
Yeah.
Spot on. And there is an art in the imperfection. I love how it's arranged. How did you do that?
Well, okay, so I pinned a whole bunch of different examples of the ones I kind of were looking at. And I've gone out and looked at some, but they're so symmetrical, and they were kind of looked like they were made in a warehouse, or they just didn't look,
Tips to cheesy if it's too
perfect. And the ones that were really expensive and vintage were very random and put together randomly. So that was kind of, my key, and I have a step-by-step on my blog of exactly how to, to do that and how to place them and make them look random.
The mix of sizes is key, and I noticed these little embellishments you tucked in.
Okay, yeah, so when you start with your form, I started with the white one because it was going on a white wall. So I didn't want to color it at all. And then I just wanted to make it look more vintage. You could leave those little, what is this? It's a pick. I purchased these little picks at the craft stores, and then I just popped off the ends, just, I don't know, tore it apart, the poor thing. And then
you gave it a haircut.
I did.
In the most aggressive way.
Just yanked them off. And then I just kind of tucked them in the holes to add a little more sparkle, where I felt like I was getting too many littles, so I thought I added that, and it just softened it up and made it a little more vintage. But without it, it looked so cool and modern, and the big one I have in my living room is a little bit more modern and clean looking. This one's a little more vintagey and softer.
And we'll send viewers to your blog for the step-by-step, but really quickly, as far as color selection, how did you get such a great rainbow grouping? Because they complement each other so well.
Yeah, so what you have to do is, it's messy and fun. You dump everything that you've purchased in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
And you kind of spread out and you look what you have and what you need. Now, I needed a few different colors, and I know this sounds so weird, but because they're plastic, I took them out in my garage and shot them with a little bit of, not literally, but with this the squirt. What is that? The spray paint.
Spray paint.
The spray paint. I just kind of shot the ends with the spray paint.
You gave it a little hit.
Yes, just because I needed some different colors of orange or whatnot, and I just kind of made them the color that I wanted.
Muted it, and that gave you the cohesive palette of those subtles.
And some of the ornaments that you do get are kind of the muted tones.
Right.
So like you have the shinies. These are vintage actually. So you have the shinies and you have the minted, the muted. And what's kind of fun about the real ones, if you can get your hands on them, is they don't have the seams, and the little plastic ones have the seams. You can kind of see the seams on them.
Look how well you faked it.
You try to just hide those seams a little bit, and and just do that.
We always love, this is a nice compliment, just a grouping of pretty ornaments in a glass dish. You can't go wrong with that.
Super easy.
You've gone even smaller scale though on the wreath front.
Yes, so I wanted little wreaths on my kids' bedroom doors. And so I found in CB2, that cute little online catalog, they had these wreaths. And you can get these at like the craft stores, and they are so cheap, cheaper than their.
So do not pay the CB2 price.
No,
we love
do not. And how they styled it was, they took a few little ornaments and they tied the ornaments to the wreath, because they're very modern, and this was kind of a modern thing.
The form is still exposed.
The form is still exposed. Now, I spray painted one of them gold, like you can see behind you.
This is killing me. You are the cutest.
Emmy.
She walked in with a wreath for Emmy's door, and I was telling you, for Emmy every morning, it's like Groundhog Day at our house. So she walks out and sees the Christmas decor, and she gasps like she's never seen it before in her little life.
I think that's fantasy.
She gets her drama from her dad. Clearly. I mean, that drama streak. So she is just going to die when she sees this. You're so cute. But you filled it in a little bit.
My boys would not like that. Yeah, so for one of them, I wanted it to make it a little softer. So again, I just kind of glued the little picks in there and tied on different colors of ornaments. Added some vintage with some, dollar store Target ones.
It's perfect.
And just kind of mixed it, and it's sweet and simple and really modern.
Thank you. She's gonna love it. And what a cute little detail for their rooms or a playroom or a kid's
just
space.
to stick on the door, and then they can have their own little Christmas.
I'm gonna send you a video of the gasp.
Okay, good.
It's quite cute. Her whole face just conforms into this look of surprise. A more modern spin on that?
A more modern spin on that. I did the black and white because I'm doing black and white in my house this year.
Are you?
So I have black and white tree with a little bit of teal.
Do you change colors every year?
No, I've had this one for a few years, but sometimes I'll repurpose or reuse or add things. So that's I thought that would be kind of fun for my house. And then the last kind of thing that I had done with them is when I was looking at fun things you could do with ornaments, they had these picture frames on their wall with all of these gorgeous glass ornaments.
Who's they?
Oh, I don't know, pinners, these gorgeous, beautiful pinner designers.
Creators.
These great people that have fabulous ideas. So of course I plagiarized them and made my own creation. And smaller scale, because I wanted this one in my office. And I just put a little bit of this metal, I don't know, radiator stuff that I got from Hobby Lobby. You probably get from Home Depot.
Beautiful.
Spray painted that gold. And then wired on these little tiny little ornaments that you can just get in packs of, 7 or 8 for a couple of dollars at the craft stores.
In the shape of a tree, and there you have a Christmas treasure to proudly display. And at the very end of the day, quickly, a garland idea?
You know what? If you have lots of extra things, you can use ribbon or tinsel, and I liked this tinsel, of course, because it's shiny and it's so
Michelle
cute.
in a strand of tinsel. Absolutely.
Surrounded by boys, I had to go for the tinsel. But yeah, just grab your extra ornaments. You can do big ones, you can do small ones. Just string them on any ribbon, and then you can tie them around your plants or frames or, your cookie jar, and it just adds a little sparkle, and you can use up all your ornaments that are just kind of to make it to the tree this year.
I love every idea. So Emmy and I both thank you. Studio 5 Nation thanks you as well, and you'll have those instructions on your website.
All the instructions for the ornament wreath on my website.
Where do we find you?
At theglitzypear.com.
All right, look for the link on our website. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas
we adore
to you,
you. Thanks,
Brett.
Michelle.